The world has moved on from sundials and shadow clocks thousands of years ago to quartz and atomic clocks, the most accurate timekeeping devices today. But mechanical clocks, a combination of metal, spring, glass, and stone that kept the world ticking for centuries, continue to inspire awe in many horologists and collectors. Mechanical clockmaking may have been the forte of German, Swiss, British, and the French historically, but there is interest, although very niche, in India as well. There are those who collect a piece of history every time they bring an antique mechanical clock to life, and then there are those who have taken the art of mechanical clock making and given it a modern twist to keep them relevant in modern times. We bring you two such people, one an architect turned horologist who makes mechanical clocks with a modern touch, and the other a passionate clock collector from Chennai. Dilip Sivaraman, an architect turned horologist in Bengaluru, is also the creator of Gato, a skeletal, minimalist, and anything but conventional version of the grandfather clock. Dilip Sivaraman's handcrafted masterpiece of a modern, mechanical, time-only floor clock.
I figured nobody makes them in India, or it's just difficult to source old ones. The only way, eventually I figured, like after about a month, couple of months, the only way I can have a nice clock is if I made it myself.
Okay.
So I know it's a weird thought, like, but I never let it, stop me from making one. I just went ahead and so it also kind of fascinated me, this whole mechanism thing.
In 2014, he started research on clock making. In a year and a half, he had successfully built his first mechanical floor clock.
So then I came across this competition in Switzerland. It's by this AHCI. It's this organization or a guild of independent watchmakers. These watchmakers are the kind of people that still follow the 400-year-old tradition of making everything by hand, and they haven't been corporatized yet. So there was a competition that they hold it every year. So I saw this competition, and I thought, like, maybe I should just enter the competition and present Gato and see what they say about it. Maybe nothing will come out of it, but I participated, and next thing you know, I've become a finalist, and it looks like there were entries from 30 countries.
Sivaraman made it to the list of finalists at the 2016 Young Talent Competition sponsored by AHCI for independent watchmakers across the globe. One critical component of a mechanical clock is the escapement mechanism, and Sivaraman took about 6 months to design a fully functional regulator clock. His Gato clock has a planetary gear motion work. In the Gato, a ring gear with 12 spokes to tell the time replaces the chapter ring but also anchors the planetary gear motion work. The planet carrier becomes the hour hand. Some 75 moving parts carefully crafted in stainless steel, titanium, aluminum, an Invar pendulum rod, braided Kevlar ropes, and tungsten carbide pallet teeth cased in wood and glass keep the unconventional mechanical clock ticking. Priced at 8 lakh rupees a piece, Sivaraman has clients in Mumbai, Bengaluru, and Spain.
Actually, I've loved it. I think, actually the thing is, like, the admiration for how tough it is and how complex it is, but that complexity has been kind of hidden in some beautiful design. Every time I kind of stand there, it just sort of grows on you.
1706. That's the number of perfectly functional mechanical clocks at Robert Kennedy's private clock museum in Chennai. And that excludes his 509 pocket watches and more than 750 wristwatches, all mechanical, and dozens of antique cameras, typewriters, carefully stacked in a 2-bedroom apartment in the city's Kodambakkam area. Kennedy bought this apartment just to house his prized possessions.
My slogan is, I never touch a battery operated clock, because there is nothing special inside in a battery operated clock. It's a small PCB board and nothing fascination over there. These things are outdated, these things are stopped, and my slogan is, again, a collectible means a product should be rare. Which is available in the market, we cannot say it is a collectible.
Over the last 6 years, Kennedy has been attempting to etch his collection in the Guinness Book of World Records, and finally, his 1,706 mechanical clock collection is ready to be reviewed by the Evidence Committee of the organization. What started as a fascination for a large grandfather clock that was gifted to his grandfather, a clerk at a tea estate in Munnar by the British sometime in 1930s, led to Kennedy turning into an avid collector of mechanical clocks.
One thing, see, basically, when I was a boy, I was a sportsman. So I used to always keep my free time occupied in some angle. So when I saw the clock mechanism, that which fascinated me, then I started adding clocks. Then it became my hobby. Then now after 2005 only I started attempting for some record purpose. Now this collection has started giving me recognition throughout the world. So, which is a real thrill for me. An ordinary person becoming notified in the public,
right.
That gives a thrill.
He has been collecting such clocks for 39 years now and spent the last 2 putting together an inventory detailing every clock in his collection, all labelled and numbered, sorted by size, design and function, the countries that they were made in. Mechanical clocks of all sizes and materials, one of them at least 290 years old, says Kennedy, adorn every inch of the apartment's wall. He has spent an estimated 60 lakh rupees on collecting, repairing and maintaining his clocks. From alarm clocks to pigeon race clocks, steeple clocks to anniversary clocks, grandfather clocks to cuckoo clocks, mantle clocks to alert clocks. The collection comprises clocks that have survived through decades, even centuries. Some once adorned the walls of East India Company officers, some perhaps kept time at the homes of royalty and bureaucrats. Some were stolen and lost in time, others discarded or auctioned at will.
We are challenging the present record holder, who is Mr. Jack Shock of USA, who has done a record with 1509, and his record was done during 2010. And unfortunately, he passed away during 2016 or 17, I think he passed away. He is no more. So, to my knowledge, unofficially, we have broken the record.
Kennedy acknowledges that mechanical clock making is a dying art, adds that barely anybody even repairs or knows how a mechanical clock mechanism works.
அந்த பொறுமைலாம் இப்போ உள்ள பசங்களுக்கு இல்லை, அது நான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கினேன். நான் இதுக்கெல்லாம் ரொம்ப பொறுமை, ரொம்ப இது வேணும். அதனால நான் படிப்பே இல்லை, எனக்கு தமிழ் கூட எழுத தெரியாது, படிக்க தெரியாது. ஆனால் பிள்ளைங்களை படிக்க வைக்கணும்னு ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டு பிள்ளைகளை படிக்க வச்சுட்டேன். அந்த ஒரு இது இருந்தது. அவன் படிச்சுட்டு அவன் ஐடி கம்பெனியில் தான் செய்கிறாங்க.
ரொம்ப நன்றி.
என்னோட அது முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. அவ்வளோ.
Access to the internet has come as a boon and bane for Kennedy. While the web helped him research and learn about mechanical clocks, it also meant that collecting them has become more expensive. One a clockmaker, another a clock collector. Both Sivaraman and Kennedy agree that a digital or quartz watch is not even a patch on the good old mechanical clock.
Once prized possessions, perhaps even a status symbol, these mechanical clocks may have gone out of fashion, but they continue to be a collector's delight. Every clock in Robert Kennedy's private museum in Chennai has a story to narrate, some of them perhaps dating back centuries. The oldest clock in this collection is about 290 years old. Every time, dozens of moving parts inside these mechanical clocks make them tick. They take a part of history into the future. From Chennai, for ThePrint, Anusha Ravi Sood.